Okay, I said I was going to do some projects to help organize my life, and we're going to get started on this laundry room table. It's really simple. I'm going to put everything down in the link that I use that you can pick up from Amazon. I spent about $50 on wood at Lowe's, and I just bought cheap wood. You can make your life easier and buy premium wood, but I don't know that you need to. All right, let's go over the tools we're going to need for this job. We're going to need our drill. We're going to need our Kreg pocket jig. Some screws. I have some 1 inch and 3/4. I've got a couple of Irwin 90-degree clamps, and I've got the Kreg clamps, the pocket clamp and the table clamp. And we're going to need our sander and some sanding blades, as well as the drill bit and the Kreg driver. And then over here I've got my Ryobi saw, some sawhorses, and we're going to get started. All right, let's talk about the parameters of this build. This table is going to be 6 feet long. It's going to be about 18 inches wide, and it's going to be about 3.5 feet tall. The first shelf is going to be designed to accommodate these, which are roughly 17 inches across and about 13 inches tall. So we'll go 14 inches so we have some clearance. The reason I'm using these is I have a bunch of them, and for my boys it's perfect for laundry. This table would work just as good as far as a utility table, or maybe for some 3D printers or something like that. So this is an easy project. First thing I'm going to do is cut the 4 main pieces for the table, which are going to be 6 feet long. And then I'm going to cut the side supports, which are going to be 3.5 feet. So we'll get started on that. After some sizing, I decided to go with 32-inch legs. I decided to go with the legs at 30 inches because when I add the top and bottom of this material, it'll add 3 inches to overall height. So this will be 33 inches tall, which is perfect for this table. I cut the 4 sides to 30 inches. Here they are. I've evened them all up, made sure they're perfectly within 1/16 inch of each other. So now I need 4 15-inch pieces that are going to go between the legs to make 18-inch square. So I'll just mark it. Alright, so we've got our 4 15-inch pieces now. So we've cut those. We've got a little cute scrap piece. I like to cut all my pieces in one shot, so I just have them made. So now I'm going to cut the 4 6-foot pieces. These are the main frame pieces, so there'll be 4 of these. I'm just going to show you one. I bought 8 feet. These are 8 foot 3/4 by 1.5 inches. They're actually called 2x1s, but the true dimensions are 1.5 inches by 3/4. And I'll save these scrap pieces because I'll use them in the project later. So now I'm going to cut these sections. These are the 6-foot length, but because they're going to be attached to the frames on the end, these pieces are 3/4 inch. So that means I have 1 inch, or I have 1.5 inches I need to deduct from the total length of 6 foot. So when I take an inch off of 6 foot, so when I take 1.5 inches off of 72 inches, I get 70.5 inches. Okay, so we got all our pieces cut now. These are the side supports, and these are the main frame. And we're not going to have to cut the table pieces because they're just going to be mounted on top. So now we'll get ready to drill some holes. Now, you seasoned woodworkers will poof-ah at these jigs, but I love them. This is a Kreg jig. It is fantastic. It allows you to make perfect holes, which allow you to put the piece together perfectly every time. You measure your wood, you make the adjustment on the drill bit, and you make the adjustment on the jig itself. Perfect every single time. This tool is indispensable. The new one's even better. It's got supports on the side. It's available in my store on Amazon. I totally suggest getting it if you like building your own stuff. Anybody can use them. It's so simple. So I'm going to start drilling my holes now. Don't mind the rusty drill bit. This was in a flood. But what you do is you size it to the depth of the wood. This wood is 3/4 inch thick, so I've set it to 3/4. And then on this one, you see on the back, where's that? Oh, it's on. So on this one, you see on the side, it says 3/4. So we're ready to go. So this setup is so easy to use. You just line your wood up so that the hole is in the middle of the wood. You clamp it down, put your drill bit in the drill, and all you do is drill it out. And you put the collar on, like I already showed you. That makes it automatically go to the right size. I'm going to need a new battery. So we're just going to, and I like to clear the wood out, make sure I get a good seat. Alright, so there's your hole, and we're going to flip and do the other side. And that's what your perfect pocket hole looks like when you're done. Now it's important when you mount this that you actually make sure you get it on the right side, because I've accidentally flipped this over before and then you have a screwy setup. So I want to make sure all your holes are on the right side. Okay, so I've done all the pocket holes for the pieces to hold the side piece together. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use these 90-degree vices, clamps that I have. And I'm going to put a little bit of wood glue in here, and then I'm going to screw these together. And this will create our side frames. So we'll get started. Now people have said that glue doesn't make a difference. But if you've ever taken one of these frames apart, you know that that's not true. Glue makes a huge difference for me. And you just need a light layer. And then we're going to put it back in the vise. And then line up is everything. You want to make sure these are perfectly lined up. Okay, so I've got it lined up now. So now what I'll do is I'm going to change the bit on my drill to this bit. This is the driver. There's a shorter one, but I always just like the long one, so they just use that. So switched it over. Now I think I'm going to need 1-inch screws. So that's what I'll use. And I already had these, so it doesn't really count, but they're not expensive. And you just put your pocket, put your screw in, and you feel it go in, and you get your driver, and you put it right here. And this is kind of hard to do. I wish I had a cameraman. And you just cinch it down, and then you're done. Alright, so I put the frame together. It's pretty fast. Just zipped it a little bit of glue, and I'll do the other one now. Okay, so both frames are done now. These will be the side pieces. So now I'm going to start attaching the actual main pieces. There's no way to film this and actually do it. I used a clamp, pretty similar to what you saw earlier, and now I'm attaching the legs. Okay, you can see how fast this frame's coming together. And we're just gluing. I got some glue in there, and I'm using the clamps to clamp it down. Now I got to tell you, it's really hard to show you, but this clamp is worth its weight in gold. This is the Kreg angle clamp, and it allows you to clamp and drill. These are available in my store in the tool section. I highly recommend them for these projects. They work fabulously well. So, also these Irwin 90-degree angle clamps. You can get them at Lowe's, or you can buy them in my link as well. They work very, very well. Alright, got the other piece on now. I wish I could show you. Now you might be wondering why I didn't put a support here directly below, and that's because I want to be able to slide baskets in and out underneath the shelf. So there's no front tow bar, I guess. But there is going to be a support in the middle here, so I can nail the tray down. Again, the focus on this is cheap and quick. So Kreg tools, glue, A little bit of wood, a little bit of lumber, hammer and nails, that's all you need. Another clamp that turns out to be invaluable is this Kreg clamp that's got the actual pocket, and it allows you to put pieces where they should go and kind of hold them in place. I'm actually putting stabilizers up so that when I put the tray down, there'll be some support underneath there. So. Just that fast to change from your drill bit to your driver. And the only thing that I'm doing now is I'm adding some supports to the top so that this will have the strength to support a little bit of pressure. Now it doesn't have to hold a ton of weight, and so I'm not building this thing heavy duty. It's going to hold laundry, that's it. Laundry baskets. Real lightweight. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my, where did I put my glue? Oh, I dropped it. I'm going to take some glue. I'm going to glue the ends. And then I'll use my trusty clamp. And what's cool is you just put it in the hole like that. And then you line it up, which is not hard. And I put some marks in so that I can make sure that I was exactly where I wanted to be. And then take my driver, and I've got some screws. I'm trying to use up these old ones because they got wet and don't want them to rust. So now I'll just put this under here. Done. Alright, so I'm just going to sand now. And that just makes it nice and smooth so when I get ready to attach the boards, because I bought cheap wood and it's pretty level, but there's going to be some bow in it in a couple places, and that just gives me a couple of sections to actually put some nails in it and make it nice and level. So that's why we're doing that. Now I haven't attached anything, I'm just showing you how it looks when it's fitted. This will be evened out. And now I'm using a real simple system for the bottom shelf. I'm just going to drill this with the Kreg drill bit about halfway, which is about 3/8, and then I will mount it to the bottom so the boards can just slide in. And that's what it'll look like when you're ready, and I'm just going to mount these to the side. Alright, so I just got a quick mock-up. There's the bottom shelf, there's the top shelf, and it's looking really nice. Really happy. Baskets fit good, nice and snug. Excited. Alright, I'm going to start attaching the top planks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run glue, and then I'm going to put nails to hold it down. It's real simple, real easy, real fast. Alright, so I got the top deck on. Just got some glue holding it down. I got it clamped down. I got to build the bottom section now. So that'll be quick and easy. And like I said, this is all very cheap, very quick. And you could actually use screws instead of nails. It'd be a little more rigid. But this isn't going to hold any weight, so I'm not trying to overbuild it. Simple, cheap. That's the idea behind it. All right, now I'm gonna nail 2 supports across this. This will be the middle shelf that can come in or out depending on how I want to set things up. So I'm gonna cut 2 more 18-inch pieces and I'll nail them across here with some glue. All right, so there's the bottom and there's the top. Now there's gonna be some sanding and then a little bit of painting and we'll be done, ready to go. Ready to put laundry on it. So that came together in about 2 hours. Not too bad. Alright, so I've got it all assembled. This is a floating tray. This is a floating plate that I can pull in or out if I want. I'm not going to attach it because I want that flexibility. Now I'm just going to paint it white. And the reason I'm going to paint it white is I have a ton of white paint and I don't want to spend any more money. So I'm just using paint I had. We're just going to paint it up now. Alright, I got most of it painted up. I got to let it dry before I can finish. And I painted the bottom shelf. I got to flip it over, but just went with white because that's what I had. Okay, so I've finished painting with old paint that I already had. I could have gone with some different colors, but I painted the bottom shelf and I painted all of it. So I'm going to let it dry and then we'll go set it up and try it out. Really excited to have this done. This is going to help me. So it's looking pretty good. Alright, so it's all painted and now it's set up and we're going to try it out. Remember, this is basically what happens before. This is what I had. Alright, so there we have all our baskets put away. Obviously there's some clothing I need to sort and fold. But instead of being all over the house now, it's going to be always here. Well, this turned out just fantastic. I've got plenty of room for all my baskets, room to fold, and instead of being on the floor around the house, all my laundry is in one area. So I have to say this project was a success. $50 of wood, an afternoon worth of work, a little bit of old paint. Here we are, a new laundry table that makes my life easier. Thanks for watching. Please give me a like if you liked the video. If you like the channel, think about subscribing. We really appreciate the support, and I will see you next time.